Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the London Monarchs. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, 390, Red Delta!
Hey, I'm coming. Alert flare.
Plus the right.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the ball.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 12 yards that time. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Hey, Delta!
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is
From the gun, Rivers. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. To throw, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Watch twins.
To throw again. Rivers. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Mike.
Round 80.
Check 55, Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, D.
52.
Hey, turn it up. Tighten up. Tighten up.
From the gun, it's Allen. This short throw caught by Goddard. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is. is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jakeem Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
21.
Throwing again. Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Returnable for Grant. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The shotgun snap for Stafford. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Check 4.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
Now on 2nd and 13, Allen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but there, first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
32.
At the 26-yard line.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Monarchs nothing.
Lady.
Here we go. Field right. You don't want none. Give me it. Pick up the ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford gets it off to Freeman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
Lady. Middle. Stay 50. Hey. High 7.
On 3rd down, Stafford. He is going to find Hill here. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who could turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford got the connection here to Bourne. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Pull it together. Begin.
Hey, 70. Like 7.
53 to Mike.
Hey, exit.
And here we go.
Again, it's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And now it's second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On second down, it's Freeman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Middle.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Drop deep.
Hey, seam 6.
To throw on third down, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he's on here to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here comes Grant on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're...
It got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's got this down to the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Check. He's coming. We got double up. Check your hot read.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jakeem Grant on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Here we go, here we go. Out, 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 out.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Stafford, blitz coming, and down he goes. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Phillip Lindsay as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. You got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
He sets to fire deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Watch one. Watch one. I'm on. Go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check. Go back. We got motion. Back up. So Mike's number one. You can't block me. Here we go. Regular. Watch.
To throw, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Watch out for Hill on the return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down.
Check, 250.
Check. Switch.
Zebra. Hey, 22. '59.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Stafford, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Go ahead, take a seat. You can't stop me.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hey, echo.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Why? Get wide.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. First and 15.
Check 52. Hey. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey. Hey, watch that.
Now a carry for Lindsey.
Go, run.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Philip Lindsey with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
You think you're going to get this? You think you're going to get this?
Check the backer, check the
59!
Mike, 53.
Freeman again. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
We got this.
First and 10.
Now a play fake here on first down. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Alert 3.
Throwing is Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Stafford, and they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Let's go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Here we go, O. Here we go, O.
Allen now on 1st down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Stafford. That one complete to Hill. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
General West.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Slam. Easy, alert. Hey, Red.
Stafford looks to throw again. Steed's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Stay 50, stay 50. Drill right, 22.
From the gun, Stafford. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker.
32.
They snap it to Stafford. Able to find Switzer. And he is going to have the first down here, but hold on. As there's a flag on the field, and I think someone got held. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
It's a party now. Check. Lucky.
50.
I'm going to come back to you.
Omaha, ready to move.
Mike's 50.
Hey, Delta.
Get the ball, D. Get the ball.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles defense able to hold. They've gone final now from Los Angeles. And give that one to the Bears as they wind up winners. A win would be their first of the young season. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Alert.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Allen. He's got his man here. It's Green. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Keep it up. Here we go, O. One's the mic. Watch one. He runs.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Alert!
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 4. Mike, 53. I got wide.
Here's Stafford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Watch the curl.
Big 20.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50. 6 man. Check curls.
Buzz.
50, Mike. 50.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. It's 4th down.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Coming to you. 53's the Mike. 53. Check 53. Hey, here I come.
On 4th down, Stafford. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
28 yards. And the London first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike.
Set. Blue 60. 0.
Man, I got you.
One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one has gone. This time has run out on this ball game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were